Hello everybody, welcome to a new episode of the Dragon Slayer. As I said last week on my birthday, I was going to do the 82 and 83 figures. And as you can tell, the Dragon Slayer is a huge mess. That's the reason I do most of my videos downstairs in my living room. But before I start off, I wanted to show you, I wanted to show you the wall up there. The first case is the first 12 of the 1982 figures. They're in good shape. They've been played with. I've had them since 1980, well, kind of 82, 83. My first original straight arms was Snake Eyes, Rock and Roll, and Stalker. Those are the ones that I got first of the 82s, and I actually got them in 83 because the store back in New Jersey still had 82 figures on the pegs, which was weird. And that Cobra Commander is the Mickey Mouse Cobra Commander. He's still got his emblem. It's semi worn off, but you could tell that it's the Mickey Mouse Cobra Commander. Then the second case is the 1997 set, and then there is a third case, which is the 2007 anniversary. So I got the 15th and the 25th anniversaries up there in cases. And then I got a bunch of figures on walls. Behind these helicopters, this core helicopter in this box, is actually a sealed 1982 9-back Snake Eyes. And yes, that's an issue of number 1 of Superman comics. That is a reprint. Let's see. Most of these are Fun School. Then I got 4 sets sealed battle gear accessory packs. I'm only missing issue number 2, 3, and 4. And then that Cobra Jetpack Trooper signed by Larry Hama. And then that's the Brazilian cover girl named Sparta. And then I've got the British Zetavorce, Z-Force, Scarlet Coral, and then that's the Argene 7 figures. And then I've got some direct-to-consumer figures, and then the GIJOE flag case that's holding some of the figures that are ordered from the little catalogs that come with the vehicles. And then some sealed Star Wars, and then some sealed movie Joes. And yes, there is more core, Hess, trucks, miniatures, the hovercraft, which used to be complete, but then it got damaged, and it's missing. I got to replace these, and of course these, like most everybody. But everything else is there. Yeah, my collection of Monopoly games and Clue, and yes, my Nile fedora or hat, and my Scottish Rite hats, my signed photo of Rose character from Doctor Who. Cthulhu, He-Man, bunch of other things, a sealed Scarlet and Snake Eyes from one of the conventions. And there's more figures and more Joes hanging up over there. And over there you can see the Viper glider in a frame, and below it, buried on the wall, is the Falcon glider. So that's my there are some vehicles here, but the rest are actually in a sealed storage unit, because as you can tell, there's no room in here for them. Oh, and back there are rolly cases. These are some of my core. These are my core, because I also collect core too, besides GI Joe and nondescript action figures. See, I have some of the reaction figures. I have a bow from the Dukes of Hazzards. I have the A-Team. I have the Chips figures. There's Boss Hog. I have Captain Power. I have Hawkeye. So, if they're 1/18 scale figures, I'll usually collect them. And then in that case is the 97, 98, and 2000 sets or figures. Yeah, 2000 figures. And as I did my other videos, I told you guys that my figures I don't keep their weapons on, because I do it the way I used to do it when I was a kid. And this is the pack of weapons from 82 to 86. So these are all the weapons. All 3 bazookas, which is cool. Unfortunately, my bazooka, my double-handled bazooka is missing, is broken. The scope, but I still do have the scope. So I mean, and I have all 3 mortars, all 3 handled mortars, which is cool. And then there's a couple of extra weapons in here that I've given to my Cobra Commander, so he can have his staff, because I also gave him his cape. For people that don't know anything about the 82s, if you collected, if you were a completist, even a semi-completist, you should have 3 or 2 straight arm Cobra Commanders, and I believe 2 swivel arm Cobra Commanders, because especially if you were in Canada, you would get the black Cobra Mobat, and that came with a Cobra Commander. And then the straight arm Cobra Commanders were the Mickey Mouse one and the regular symbol one. And one was mail away and one was in the Cobra Missile Command Center. So, and I wanted to show you that these are cases from 82, 83 to 89. So, I keep all my figures in the cases, and yes, I have another banana box full of these cases with all the other figures, all the way up to up to 87 or 94. I mean, sorry, including a case for the Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter figures. So, but today we are going to be doing the 82, 83s, and I keep them both in the same case. This is the action case. This is about the only 2 cases that I had when I moved to Washington, because I didn't bring my vehicle, so I had to replace every vehicle when I was a kid. And luckily, when I was a teenager, I found a garage sale where the person was selling most of them, so I bought them. But I did have all my figures. I've not really stopped collecting GI Joe figures. I buy them every so often, but I've kept up getting figures since 1982, 83. But in this case is 84. So yes, I have some old figures, some old cases. And here is two 83 figures. And unfortunately, I cannot fix my 83 tripwire or steeler because I cannot get the screw undone. It's stripped completely. So he just sits there. So, but I have, in this case, has seen better days because the handle's missing. I do have two major bloods, because the packaged one and then the mail away one. And I do have their file cards. Their file cards are kept in photo albums, and I'll do a review. I'll do a show on those too after sometime, showing you all my file cards. Unfortunately, my HIS driver symbol is gone. It's been rubbed off. And then here's my silver. It looks like he needs his O-ring replaced. But here's my silver Grand Slam. Sorry about the lighting. I don't know what the hell's up with the lighting. And here's my other straight arm Cobra Commander. He's missing his left thumb, but all in all, he's actually in pretty good shape. The Cobra symbol's good. He's got a little bit of a nose scrunch or nose rub from on his silver battle mask. And here's the 83 Cobra Commander. His crotch piece is broken, which some of them are. And I put on old, I think this was a Batman cape from the early 80s that I like chopped off the Batwing parts and just stuck on, because I liked the cape and the baton from the first movie. So and then my two Hawks. Unfortunately, my straight arm Hawks thumbs are broken, but they have been well played with. That's the thing. I am missing one straight arm Cobra officer. I have one straight arm swivel arm officer and one swivel arm Cobra trooper. And then another straight arm Cobra trooper, because you should have two straight armed Cobra troopers and two straight armed Cobra officers, because of them being blistered and from the Cobra Missile Command Center. So, late cover girl, my first two figures, Torpedo and Airborne. These were the first two I ever got. And the funny thing is later that day we had to go back to the store, back to Bradley's, and I saw that Bradley's had some of the. I didn't know that there was a difference between straight arm and swivel arm, so I just wanted to get Snake Eyes and Rock and Roll and Stalker, and I got those. And realized when I got home that they didn't have the swivel arm, which was fine. I'm okay with that. I did eventually get the swivel arm Snake Eyes later that year. So I mean, and yes, he is very loose. Swivel arm Scarlet with a little bit of paint wear. And here's my Stalker. Swivel arm Stalker. And my swivel arm Rock and Roll. And yes, they are well played with and very loose because they're 40 and 41 years old, so I mean. And then my two orange Grand Slams. Which, ironically, both still have their crotches and their thumbs. Until I drop them and break them. So, and then my clutches. Unfortunately, Clutch has got a broken thumb on his right arm from the straight arm. But if anybody has a clue on how I can get the screw out of the back of Steeler so I can fix my 83 Steeler, leave a comment down below because that would really help, because I'd like to have them fixed. Because I do need to repair a couple of other figures. I noticed in my one box that my JCPenney's 3-pack torpedo is broken. And here's the mail-away Duke. His sticker finally came off, so I got to figure out how to get a new, replace the sticker. But the 83 Duke, which is super loose, tan grunt, and I know there's some other people that do it, but with the tan grunt, I do give him the accessory backpack and the accessory backpack M16. And for the Viper glider pilot, I actually give him the accessory pack sniper rifle. So, because they're up in hang gliders that don't really have weapons. Yes, the plastic clips that you put the figure on have guns on them, but I mean, they don't have guns. Here's my Destro, and his chrome mask is actually still in pretty good shape. And for people that are wondering, my snow job is still pretty much white, super loose. And yes, some of my figures have fingernail polish on the bottom of them. That's from when I was a kid, and we didn't want my friend and I to get confused on whose figures were whose. So that's how we identified that whose figures were whose, was the bottom of the foot with fingernail polish. And I know I should probably take it off, but you know what? It's part of my childhood. It's how I played with them. So I mean, but yes, snow job is still more or less white. So, which is cool. And I believe my Snake Eyes or Storm Shadow is more or less white, but unfortunately, Ace, his legs are turning yellow. So I mean, and it looks like part of his helmet cap is also turning yellow. So I do have aging on a couple of my white figures. My Gung Ho. Breaker. Okay, so the 82 Breaker must be the one. Somehow, there were teeth marks on Breaker's chest, and I have no clue how they got there. There are like little tiny baby teeth, unless I tried to put it in my sister's mouth when she was teething. which may have been a possibility. Here's my 83 grunt. Semi good, but his arm paint is wearing off, so his fingers are turning black. My Zap. Flash. Flash's chest pad is a little rubbed off, but I mean it's still nearly in good shape. Because unlike most kids, I hardly ever took him outside. And my friend, he had a den, and downstairs in the den we played with the figures, so we really never took him outside with him either. So I mean, yeah, most of my figures are in good shape. They're missing broken thumbs and broken crotches because that's playwear. Except for Grunt, I am missing his straight arm, left arm, and never been able to replace it because it completely broke off. And then when I fixed his O-ring, I lost the little nub, so I don't know where it went. But other than that, that is the 82s and 83 figures. There's Snake Eyes, Scarlet, Breaker, Grunt, Rock and Roll, Short Fuse, Bazooka, or not Bazooka, sorry, Zap, Stalker, Flash, Steeler, Clutch, Grand Slam, and then on here we have Hawk, Cobra Commander, Cobra Trooper, Cobra Officer, Grunt, and Mail Away Duke, Tan Grunt, Wild Bill, and Mail Away Major Blood, Gung Ho, Ace, Destro and Doc, Viper Pilot, Torpedo, Snow Job and Airborne, Tripwire, Cover Girl, and the other Major Blood, Silver Padded Grand Slam, and Piss Driver. So that's 83s and 82s. And I've started going by the years because back when I was younger and a teenager and a young adult, I actually used to call the 82s the Alpha set because they were the first set, the Alpha set. And the thing is they would, if they didn't go over, there would not have been any other series. So to me, 82's the Alpha set, 83's Series 1 because it was the one that had the more complete, and it had the remakes of the 82's. And let's see, I wanted to show you my here is my Storm Shadow, and Storm Shadow is more or less still white. And I'm really sorry about this lighting. It was good this morning when I hooked up the camera and everything, but I have no idea what happened to it. So, he is a little loose, but and this, and the Zartan, I know I wasn't going to do 84s, but I mean, this Zartan's actually a replacement because somehow when I was a kid, or when I was a teenager, my brother, who was a little kid at the time, had his friends over, and his friend, one of his friends, took my Zartan, so I had to replace them, and originally I replaced them with the Fun School Zartan, which is buried on the shelf, because I do have a bunch of loose Fun Schools. And yes, that is a blue Snake Eyes. His one leg is missing, so it's replaced with a black leg, but that is a Fun School blue Snake Eyes and stuff. So I mean, so then later on, I was able to find him really cheap with all of his gear, which was cool. Well, all of his gear, as in his pads and his chest plate. I never lost his weapons. And the weapons that I did used to lose, I replaced them with accessory packs until I found the actual weapon. And some of the 82 and 83s still have accessory pack weapons, like Rock and Roll. His machine gun and his tripod or bipod are accessory packs. Breaker's headset, communications headset, is accessory pack, and I think the 83 one is. The 82 I might actually still have the original. 83 Scarlet's crossbow is accessory packed. It's from the accessory packs. And this is my original sticker on the case, on the thing. I wouldn't even try to want to peel it off anymore. And at one time I tried to stick 87 weapons in here, but they didn't work because it's filled to the brim with all the weapons. So I mean, but yeah, that's how I used to keep my weapons when I was a kid, and that's how I actually keep them now, stored until I can get myself a bigger place that has a room dedicated just to the action figures. And then I'll have shelves up and put them all up. I do have all the accessory packs loose. I have every single accessory pack loose. But I am looking for accessory pack 2, 3, and 4. So we have some extra weapons here. Just extra. But I mean, the other cases that are from 90 to 94 are those yellow Tower Toy ones. But these are and I ordered another one yesterday, another GI Joe one that I'll use for probably 1990. And use the yellow one because I want to start getting. I want to get a case for some of the Black Major figures that I have. I actually have some of the Black Major figures, and they're just sitting in baggies right now because I didn't have a place to put them. Because there is a bunch of Black Major ones I'd like to get. I wanted to get the Tiger Force and the Sky Patrol and the Night Force Steel Brigade figures, and those sub teams, Stardusters, and then there's like a Iron Grenadier bat. There's a Dreadnought bat, which would be cool to have. So. This Steel Brigade is the Cobra one because it's got the Cobra symbol on his arm, even though he looks more like a Sky Patrol one. But yeah, nope. I like Black Major's figures. They're really cool. They're really well done. Unfortunately, they're not cheap. But I mean, you're paying for the custom jobs. So I mean, that's good. And all my weapons. These are the weapons from 92 to 94 Part 1. Okay, 92 Part 2, 94 Part 1. So I have metal tins, I have coffee tins. This one holds my core weapons. Here, let's get the cases out of the way. I can show you. That didn't sound good. And extra weapons for figures I want to do customs with. Unfortunately, I have no idea where all my battle stands were. I used to have a shoebox full of battle stands, but now I have like a small lunch bag full of battle stands. So I mean, Captain Power weapons. These are the weapons from 97, 98. So luckily, it's only those two. And I'm actually, the only thing I'm missing from the 97, 98 anniversary sets is the A10. I have the figures, I'm just missing the A10. And here's the 84 A-Team accessories that came with the figures, and I do have those. These are 2000, 2006, up to 2006 accessories. Here, I ran out of cases, but this is the rest of the 94s. Yes, 94 Part 2s accessories. When I was redoing them, I had them just in a baggie, and I figured, you know what, I have a bunch of empty Dungeon Crate boxes. I figured I'll just use them for one of the things. I mean, and I used a bunch of them. Oh, the Mega Marines Play-Doh. This is 1990 Part 2, 1990